when I'm ready and not before. Much clutter.
This is it. It all comes down to this moment to finally put an end to Kitava. Go, Exile. Together we will save humankind. I shall strike you down.
Yes. The world kneels at my feet.
It's over. We emerge victorious. It was always a fool's errand, yet somehow your courage has carried us through. I congratulate you, my friend. Your world may have exiled you, but there will always be a place for you at my table. You have given humanity a fighting chance. Though darkness still covers the face of the earth, there is now a ray of light to pierce it. The insatiable appetite of Kitava has been ruined, and you are no exile. Why, you are a hero worthy of praise.
By the light of Ramako, you did it. You, a mortal, have crossed the threshold between God and man and struck the ravenous one asunder. I'd always held out hope that you would succeed, but at night I would stay awake worrying that perhaps that hope was a foolish dream. But you've done it. You are no longer an exile, my friend. I honor you, and I'm certain the rest of the world will honor you as well.
Innocence. You see now, don't you?
Little brother, please forgive me. It's as if I have been dreaming the most horrid nightmare. And now, at last, the haze of sleep lifts from my eyes. My vision is clear. Oh, by the gods, forgive me.
It is as true now as it was when we began. You and I are of the same flesh, cleaved from the same womb. You ask for my forgiveness. I give it to you freely.
But the things I've done, the countless millions I've murdered.
There will be time for all of that later. But for now, your people need you. Oriath needs you.
No, I cannot remain here amongst these ruins, amongst the corpses of my own making. These people, they need you, brother, and your hero, not me.
Then what? Where will you go? What will you do?
Isolation. I shall go south. As far south as one can travel in such a fleshly form. There are things I must think on. The redemption I need. You have heard my admission of guilt and my plea for forgiveness. Yet I sense in the glowing embers of your eyes that you will be glad to be rid of me. I don't blame you, mortal. Nor do I begrudge you for your continual anger. The sins I've committed, although bad enough, are made worse by the lens of pride I once viewed this world through. I agree with your judgment. And though I wish never to return from my banishment, I have made a promise to sin that I shall one day rejoin this world. But until that day, I will remain in the furthest south, in the place... Go, do battle, anointed exile.
Hail. I knew everything would turn out all right. I had faith in you the entire time. Goodbye.
See, that bloody sod is gone from our world. Can't tell you how many times I've heard them Karoi savages gibbering in fear over that cannibal god. And of course there's this horror to account for as well. I don't think there's a man, woman, or child in the world that won't be praising your name tonight over a glass of their Always keep your...
You won the day. You look more than frazzled, witch. Might be time to bury your head in some forbidden occult books for a while. Or whatever it is you do for fun. I know folks like us aren't suited to rebuilding efforts in honest work. Just say...
Oh, Bannon. I'd stake my bets on being a mighty fine demon in the sack. Can't go wrong with a man in uniform. Only now, he's gone and transformed into that pesky god of light. I gotta believe that the man is still in there somewhere, but finding my way into his bedsheets at this stage is proving more difficult than I first thought. Don't seem to be anything that'll budge him from wherever he's hiding. Not even an enrapturing roll in the hay with this future pirate queen. Seems to me that by letting old innocence take him over completely, it's like a leech sucking the life right out of him. He's gonna lose out on all them lusty joys of this world, and that ain't something I'd ever think fondly about.
Exile. Exile. Wake up.
Commander Kirak has requested your presence in the war room. Serving under Kirak in the Citizen Vanguard this past year has certainly been rewarding. This is a nobler cause by far than aiding the blackguards. I don't know if Piety's atrocities can ever truly be made right. We are the people's response to the madness of Rayclast. We've had enough of corruption, gods, and would-be dictators. The last year or so, the Citizen Vanguard has embarked upon a celestial war in secret, in a realm called the Atlas. And we've lost many valiant men. It's hard to believe it's been a full year since you slew Kitava. This place is almost starting to feel like home. I left behind a piece of my heart in Oriath, even though I know we can never return there. Too many terrible things took place on that island. I think I agree with the popular sentiment that it was somehow cursed. When I really think on it, Oriath's suffering was almost entirely the fault of its people. Not the common folk, mind you. The ones with the power. The Templars fostered a society in which monsters, like Dominus and Piety, could not only rise to power, but then wield that power to harm all of Rayclast. Enslaving the Karui directly led to the cult of Kitava unleashing mayhem. And of course, the tyranny of innocence stemmed from the blind, zealous faith they gave him. That was the final nail in the coffin for Oriath. We might have been able to rebuild things after Kitava's rampage, if not for the surprise attack by Cirrus. Kirak was a lesser officer in the Vanguard then, and had to work with exiles and radicals in strange exotic realms to try to control the situation. But Cirrus was far too dangerous to be contained. I'm not sure even you could have stopped him, had you been there. I don't know exactly how they won the day, because Kirak never talks about it. But I do know a great many people died. I was no wonder child back in Oriath, but I prided myself on what junior accomplishments I managed to put together within the strict set of allowed sciences. Archaeology was my specialty, and Dominus and his ilk had an uncommon fascination with artifacts from the past. And I was told I was crucial, that I was important, because I could tell whether an artifact was truly Val simply by running my hand along faded stone patterns. I may have had a head slightly too big for my shoulders. When the Ebony Legion made available an archaeologist position on their expedition to Rayclast, and nobody volunteered, I thought my colleagues were all simply afraid of continental dangers. No, they knew better. None were allowed to speak it openly, but they knew. I didn't find out what kind of society I was truly a part of until I saw Piety's aspirations. I studied the Val. I knew all about their downfall, or at least our Templar-twisted perception of it. Piety's ocean of slaughter. The Val called their hubris the apex of sacrifice. The Eternal Empire called theirs the Purity Rebellion. We call ours the Temple of Lunaris. And I know nothing, Exile. Nothing at all. Save that we are doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past, unless we learn the hard way. Keep your life to your own. It's through the tunnel.
Kirak's my name, commander of the Citizen Vanguard. We're the front line, ensuring callous gods and bloodthirsty fiends never blindside us again. The Templars kept the true nature of the world hidden from the populace, but now the rower's out of the sack, and we'll keep both eyes open. Or the one eye open, in my case. We've a vital mission for you, Godslayer. But you're not going to believe me until you see this for yourself. Take this map and put it in one of the map devices below. It will take you to a realm we call the Atlas. Once you see the world on the other side and have yourself a battle or two, I have no moral qualms about using Tane's research. The fate of the world's on the line. We can't afford to get hung up on the use of torture. Those we can't convince to aid us out of common necessity are usually willing to offer equipment and services in exchange for gold. Alva is a continual source of ancient wealth, and I don't see the need to ask her where it comes from. I once swore I'd never trust a blackguard in my life, reformed or not. I've had to begrudgingly rethink that notion. Helen has been crucial in putting together the pieces of Rayclaft's ominous and ancient history. Everything we face... It's clear our little island is no place for men to live. Even cursed, one could say. Though we are not entirely blameless for those disasters, we thought Kitava's rampage was bad enough. Let alone the domination by the Templars and the crackdown under innocents. But Oriath was attacked yet again while you were gone. The rebuilding efforts were all for nothing. The Vanguard undertook the largest evacuation in history, hundreds of ships, and Oriath has been abandoned. No small irony that the Oriathan people now depend upon the Karui we once enslaved. I always said that if you kick a rower in the butt, one day it'll kick you in the head. But I underestimated the honor of our new hosts. They're different after the death. The map device will transport you to a land unlike any other. We call that land the Atlas, a formidable, uncharted territory which harbors the greatest dangers man has ever seen. The device itself, or the devices, rather, since we've managed to acquire 3, have a rather long and storied history. As our resident, the Atlas is a grave threat to mankind. A realm unlike any we've seen. It offers up your wildest desires, urging you ever onward into madness and danger. And yet, it may be our greatest defense as well. The Atlas draws the attention of eldritch creatures that would otherwise destroy us without a second thought. It's too dangerous to interact with, but too valuable to be left alone. You can see the position that leaves us in. We used to have the Atlas fully mapped, but it changes, it grows. After recent major events, it completely changed form. We started from scratch at a moment. Families. These courageous men and women have families. That's the difference between them and a traditional military. No disrespect to my old comrades in arms, but this organization is not comprised of solitary, violent-minded young men. The Citizen Vanguard is a volunteer effort filled with the ranks of ordinary people who are tired of the endless parade of doom and nightmare we call. Quite a bit has happened in the Atlas already. Suffice it to say, we have it on ominous authority that some unknown they are coming. Judging by the one who gave us that warning, all of Wraeclast would be in jeopardy should they take notice of us. It's best for everyone if we draw a hard line in the sand across the Atlas.
My name is Johan, and I'm from the Far East. My people, the Kalgurans, are attempting to build a settlement near here. We could use someone with your talents. You know the land, you know the dangers. Will you join us? I'll await your answer in Kingsmarch. I am from Kalgur, on the continent of Middengard. We have reached Wraeclast by ship. The journey was quite long and quite dangerous. Eventually we may be able to open trade with Kalgur, but for now, we are on our own. Several of our people were already here in Wraeclast, undertaking expeditions of their own. When their outpost reached a certain size, the king, in his great wisdom, gifted them an official charter and a name. I was sent to aid in the execution and management of that charter. Farewell for now.